For a game featuring a mascot that controls time, Gen 4 sure is good at wasting it. Many of the Pokemon games are subject to poor technical performance, and Gen 4 is no exception. Especially in the original Diamond and Pearl releases, these games were notoriously slow. The most obvious example of this is when you try to knock out a Blissey from full health. To make a short story long to cover this entire sequence, while other Pokemon games drain your health based on a percentage, Diamond and Pearl will always tick your health bar down at a set interval. This means that Blissey, a Pokemon that has more HP than dollars I've had in my bank account at points in my life, has its health ticked down at the same rate of every other Pokemon. Considering I fit that entire explanation in the time it took for Blissey's health to drop, it got me wondering what other things could you do with that roughly 20 seconds. So without further ado, here are at least 20 things, one for each second, you can do while you wait for Blissey's health to drain on down. Actually, I'm gonna throw in one more quick ado. I figured for some of the comparisons later in the video, it would make more sense for me to just speed them up instead of finding ways to artificially pad out 20-second monologues for every single thing. Some of the footage will be sped up, but I will have footage of Blissey's health draining synced to the exact same speed playing over all those clips. So let's actually get into it. To kick things off, you can go and get an Olympic medal. Running being the most common example, I wager most people could finish a 100-meter race in that time, but Usain Bolt in particular was also able to demonstrate with a record 19.19 seconds that you can finish a 200-meter dash before Blissey even hits the floor. Running isn't the only way to go fast though. Speed cubing is the art of solving a Rubik's Cube as fast as possible. The record for a normal-sized cube belongs to Xuan Gong at 3.057 seconds, meaning if he really wanted to, he could likely solve 6 Rubik's Cubes in the time that it took for Blissey to faint. Particularly impressive considering the kid is only 8 years old and has already beaten my record of never solving a Rubik's Cube. If you'd rather though, you can focus on getting some chores done. World's fastest window cleaner Teddy Burrows managed to set a record of cleaning 3 typically sized office windows in only 9.14 seconds. Apparently this guy has window cleaning in his blood or something, because his daughter also managed to take the female world record of cleaning the same amount of windows in 16.13 seconds. If cleaning out a window isn't your thing though, maybe you can clean up a plate. Eric Booker, a competitive eater, managed to down 2 whole liters of soda in 18.45 seconds. Now at this point in the video, you might think I did a little clickbait. After all, the title says things you can do while watching Blissey's health drain, and unless we've broken into the Olympic sphere, I doubt any of us are beating the 15-year standing Usain Bolt world record. So I think it's time to pivot over to some things the average Joe can do. For example, you can die. It's estimated that 1.8 people die worldwide per second, which means by the time Blissey hits the floor, 36 people have likely gone down with it. In comparison though, it's approximated that 4.3 people are born every second worldwide, meaning 86 people have likely entered the world while you were waiting for Blissey to faint. I would be a bad YouTuber if I didn't mention you could easily like and subscribe in that 20-second window. But I would also be a bad person if I didn't remind you that there's no pressure to do so. As far as communication goes, the average amount of words an adult can type per minute is around 40, while the average amount of words somebody can speak in a minute is around 120 to 150. This breaks down to roughly 13 words can be typed in the time Blissey takes to faint, and then speaking around 40 words on the lower end during that time period. Continuing on the practical end, you can finish certain downloads before Blissey ever goes down itself. In this case, I finally have a reason to actually like Spectrum Internet, as it was able to download Among Us before Blissey would faint. You could even submit a job application before Blissey manages to faint. Unfortunately though, I have a feeling it's going to take a lot longer than 20 seconds to hear back, if ever. Moving on to some more fun applications, 20 seconds is easily enough time to finish a simple drawing. For example, I was able to finish a Sonic the Hedgehog. I also tried to whip up a Garfield comic in 20 seconds, but this one seemed to be a little more challenging. If anybody is able to create anything better in the comments in that time, let me know. Considering you've been watching a video about Pokemon, I'm gonna go out on a leg and assume you have some interest in other video games. In the original Super Mario Bros., you can make it from the start of World 1-1 all the way to hitting the flagpole before Blissey's HP ever hits 0. Likewise, if we go into the third dimension, Super Mario 64 has plenty of speedrunning tech that can easily let you nab a star before Blissey faints. As shown here, Even a relatively non-optimized bomb clip can easily get you the Chain Chomp star and Bob on Battlefield with plenty of time. Todd Rogers' infamous 5.51 second record in Dragster could be completed in the time Blissey's HP drains. That is, if he wasn't lying about it. But even faked world record aside, even if you know little about Dragster, you can easily complete the game before Blissey's HP drops. Moving over to the puzzle end of the spectrum, Tetris players have to move incredibly quickly in high-level play, meaning there's plenty of opportunities to score mega points in a 20-second window. In my experience, the best I could do is get 2 Tetrises off in the 20-second window, but shout out in the comments if you've ever managed to get more Tetrises within that time frame. On the opposite end, Picross is not a game where I would say you go fast. But if you put the work in and maybe memorize some of the puzzles, you can finish a decent amount in a short time. Similar to 2 Tetrises, I was able to conquer 2 Picross puzzles before I officially conquered a Blissey. If New York Times games are part of your morning routine, you can rest relieved knowing that you can finish some of them before you finish off Blissey. Just don't actually look at the puzzle there. Okay, for a real example though, you can see that with a bit of luck on your side, it is possible to finish the Wordle before you finish off Blissey. If you're looking for something a little more classic though, it's no surprise that you can beat several arcade game stages under 20 seconds. Here, you can see that with a bit of ace piloting, you can be done with the first stage in Galaga before you're done with that Blissey. And to finish off our list with a bit of a bonus, it's important to remember that you don't have to just fight one Blissey. If we assume that you're fighting a full team of 6 Blisseys, which would take roughly a minute and 20 seconds, you can actually beat the original Pokemon Red version before you would beat that team. With a mastery of glitches, Grogear was able to complete Pokemon Red in 1 minute and 17 seconds. To be fair, that's probably more a testament to how broken Gen 1 is as opposed to how long the Blisseys take, but it's incredible to know you could beat a Pokemon game while your friend was waiting to beat a full team of 6 Blisseys. If you're still here, thanks for sticking around and watching the whole video. I know it certainly was longer than the 20-second HP drain window. If you enjoyed this video, would always love it if you're able to subscribe, or you can go ahead and check me out on Twitch.